KSI just threw hands at Jake Paul after he claimed victory in their longtime feud. Yeah, you heard that right. These two have been throwing shots at each other for what feels like forever, but now it's escalated to a whole new level. The problem child has officially crowned himself the champ of this rivalry, and it's got KSI seeing red. The nightmare ain't taking this lying down. Word on the street is there was a full-blown brawl with fists flying everywhere. KSI is clearly not going to let Jake Paul steal his shine or disrespect his legacy like that. This is war, fight fans, and we're right in the middle of it. Let's break it down.
Hey, your boy's trained too hard for this. I got an end goal, and that is Jake Paul, ladies and gentlemen.
KSI's ultimate goal is to knock Jake Paul out cold in the ring. This ain't just some petty internet beef. It's a full-blown boxing rivalry. These two have been going at it for years, and it's only gotten more heated. From diss tracks to online smack talk, they've done it all. But now things are getting out of control. The nightmare is climbing the ranks in the influencer boxing scene, and it's clear why. He's got one target in mind: Jake Paul. Every fight, every win is a step closer to that ultimate showdown. He's building his legacy, brick by brick, and he ain't stopping until he gets that chance to face Paul. And now Jake has the audacity to claim victory? KSI's worked hard to get where he is, and he's not about to let Jake steal his thunder. As KSI himself said, "I'm gonna finish what I started." This ain't over, not by a long shot. The only way to settle this is in the ring, one-on-one, no excuses.
You always do. You always hide behind negotiation. I offered to fight you for free and you still wouldn't do it. So what are you gonna do now?
You're gonna fight me for free, shut up.
I swear.
Jake's all like, "I'm the undisputed king of boxing, and KSI knows it. He's got none on me." So Paul's latest comments were straight up disrespectful. He pushed KSI to the absolute limit, and it seemed like the nightmare finally snapped. Word on the street is that KSI didn't just sit back and take it. He went straight to Jake Paul's camp and confronted him face to face. That's right, a real-life showdown. KSI made it crystal clear that Jake ain't one jack squat in this rivalry. Things escalated quickly, and let's just say there was a bit of a brawl. We're talking about punches being thrown and bodies flying, the whole 9 yards. Now, there have been rumors floating around about a black eye on Jake, but let's be real. We need to see some solid proof before we start analyzing who won that round. Now let's talk about where Jake Paul's newfound confidence is coming from. It's no secret that his recent win against Mike Perry boosted his ego. On paper, this fight was supposed to be a real test. Mike Perry wasn't just another washed-up celeb looking for a payday. He was a legit fighter in his prime. Everyone was expecting a banger, a real fight. But let's be real, the fight was kinda underwhelming. Yeah, Jake got the KO win, but it wasn't exactly a masterclass. Boxing experts and fans alike weren't impressed. Even big names like Joe Rogan and Eddie Hearn called it out as another carefully orchestrated mismatch. As Eddie Hearn put it, it was more of a circus act than a boxing match. And Joe Rogan echoed those sentiments, saying, "Jake picked on a smaller guy again. It's getting old." And let's talk about the weight difference. Jake was way bigger than Perry. The catch weight was smart on his part, but it didn't do much for the competitive aspect of the fight. Perry was probably around 190 pounds, while Jake was easily 220. So while Jake got the W, it didn't really solidify him as the king of the boxing world. If anything, it showed that KSI, who's around the same weight class, has a real shot at taking him down. Get this, the nightmare and Jake's beef is old news, but this rivalry recently escalated in June when Paul was looking for an opponent to replace Mike Tyson. Unless you've been out of the loop, I'm sure you know that the problem child was gearing up for the biggest fight of his career against boxing legend Mike Tyson on July 20th at the AT&T Arena. But then, bam! Iron Mike suffered a health hiccup when his ulcer flared up on a cross-country flight from Miami to Los Angeles. The legend had to pull the plug on the fight. Enter KSI, who volunteered to step up for the big guy in the ring. Yeah, let's rewind a bit. Things were already heated up between KSI and Jake Paul before this latest drama. Just in June, they were trading shots on social media. KSI's coach even threw his hat in the ring, saying KSI is over 200 pounds now, so no more weight excuses. He challenged Jake to a fight on July 20th, and then Paul could focus on his fight with Tyson Fury later in the year. Jake responded by saying he'd fight KSI in February at 200 pounds at MSG in NYC. He even threw in some shade, calling KSI jealous and wishing him well. It's clear these two can't stand each other, and this beef is far from over. As expected, Jake brushed off KSI and went for Mike Perry instead. KSI is absolutely roasting Jake Paul for claiming the crown of their rivalry. He's calling Jake out for fighting a bunch of washed-up athletes and celebrities, saying it's nothing more than a carefully orchestrated circus. KSI's pointing out that Jake's opponents have been handpicked to make him look good, while he's been stepping up the competition with each fight. It's like comparing apples to oranges. Jake's trying to build a boxing legacy off of easy wins, while KSI's actually putting in the work and proving himself in the ring. KSI's not buying into Jake's hype one bit. He's challenging Jake to step up and fight a real boxer, someone who's actually fought and proven themselves in the sport. Until then, KSI's not giving Jake any credit. KSI's like, bro, you're not even close. As KSI himself said, Jake Paul is a fraud, plain and simple. Let's break it down. Jake's opponents? An internet star turned boxer, a former NBA player, a retired MMA fighter, and a YouTuber. Don't get me wrong, these guys might be famous, but they're not exactly known for their boxing prowess. KSI, on the other hand, has faced off against other YouTubers who actually had some boxing experience, and he's shown he can hang with them. He's even stepped into the ring with professional boxers and held his own. That's the difference. Jake's playing it safe, picking opponents he knows he can beat. KSI's taking risks and proving his worth in the ring. Speaking of washed-up opponents, the problem child is now set to walk in the ring with 58-year-old Mike Tyson on November 15, 2024 at the AT&T Arena for a clash of the eras. I mean, what else would you call it? We've got a 27-year-old put up gloves against a man pushing his 60s, and it's all the fight world has been talking about for a hot minute. This upcoming matchup is absolutely insane. It's the perfect storm of hype, money, and pure entertainment. Everyone's talking about it, from casual boxing fans to hardcore fight junkies. Betting houses are going crazy, with people placing bets on everything from the winner to the round of the knockout. Even Netflix is getting in on the action, talking about making a documentary. It's like the whole world is holding its breath for this one fight. This is bigger than boxing. It's a cultural phenomenon.
Lose. Literally, he knocks out Mike Tyson and he's beaten what? No way.
On the other hand, the boxing world is in a frenzy over this whole KSI versus Jake Paul fiasco. It's like a never-ending soap opera with knockout punches. On one side, you have the Jake Paul fans, who are still clinging to the hope that their boy is the next big thing. But even they're starting to question his abilities after that lackluster performance against Mike Perry. On the other side, you have the KSI army growing stronger by the day. People are starting to see KSI as the real deal, a fighter who's actually putting in the work and improving his craft. His willingness to step up against tougher opponents is earning him respect from fans and critics alike. Social media is a battleground with fans passionately defending their chosen fighter. Hashtags like KSI take the crown, Jake Paul exposed, and KSI vs Jake Paul are trending non-stop. It's a perfect storm of drama, hype, and anticipation. Everyone wants to see this fight happen, and the pressure is mounting on both fighters to deliver. Boxing fans are currently over the moon because there is a possibility that KSI might finally fight Jake Paul in 2024. The KSI versus Jake Paul bout has been a thing since 2018 when Olajide called out both Jake and his brother Logan for a professional boxing match. Although their fans have eagerly waited for the fight to happen, one of the two parties has always called off the fight. When asked about KSI's regime and practice so far, Callie Sauerland confirmed that JJ had already started his training for the major boxing fights for 2024. He further claimed that KSI had shown interest in fighting Jake Paul as soon as possible. Callie stated, KSI is back in the gym. He's made it very clear he wants Jake Paul this year. There's no confirmation yet from any of the parties, so don't hold your breath on it. But come on, you and I both know what a brawl results in. Now, let's be real. Do you ever wonder what will actually go down in the ring when these two finally decide to settle their score? I mean, they've been hyping up the bout for years, so fans are expecting way more than any fight we've ever seen with their names on it. All right, let's break down the boxing skills of these two internet sensations. Jake Paul, while showing improvement, still has some fundamental flaws. His boxing style is more about power punching and showmanship than technical boxing. He's got a decent jab and a strong right hand, but his footwork and defense are suspect. He tends to leave himself open for counters and relies heavily on his size and reach advantage.
Obviously, there's been talk of Tommy Fury. Is the Jake Paul fight then dead in the water if you're looking at Tommy Fury?
Well, I mean, I don't want the Jake Paul fight to be dead in the water. That's fine.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see how everything plays out. So, there you go, Fight World. That's all I have for you today. What are your thoughts on KSI attacking Jake Paul after he claimed victory in their rivalry? Fill in the comment section with your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more boxing news. See you in the next video.